Oi, hello. So, everyone here seemed to enjoy my last unscripted, unedited complaint video, which I guess was a kind of a rant thing. So, I'm struggling to put out quality content at the moment, but I want to put something out. So, I'm going to talk about something that I care about quite passionately, and that is BioWare. BioWare is the company that made Mass Effect. If you saw my media that made me video, Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2, big part of my life. I loved those games. They really helped make me who I am. And Dragon Age is fantastic as well. And I've not played any of their Star Wars games, but everyone says they're some of the best interpretations of the Star Wars universe that has ever happened, ever. Um, so, yeah, BioWare, they're pretty great. Um, the thing is, BioWare are owned by EA, and EA have a way of screwing things up for everything. They managed to do that with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and oh boy, that was a big screw up. But they also managed to do it for Mass Effect Andromeda, and to a degree, though massively lesser degree, Dragon Age Inquisition, which was released incredibly buggy and unfinished, and on an engine that didn't suit the style of game, and with gameplay that didn't match up, and but it wasn't that bad. But EA have been screwing around with things, and EA have had BioWare. BioWare is split in two. One made Mass Effect Andromeda and has been basically shut down as a result of it. It's now a support studio, so it only helps out on little bits and pieces here and there. But their other studio, the other half of BioWare, was moved to a game called Anthem. And I was excited when I heard about it, and the beginning of the trailer, you've got them all walking through this really cool looking market thing, and oh, it's really exciting. It's a brave new world that BioWare has created, and that's something they do amazingly. Everything that BioWare does really well is the writing, it's the world building, it's the character creation, it's the story, the narrative experience. That's what BioWare has always been about, and it's what they've always done well. So that's good. BioWare doing more BioWare things. I'm excited. But then it's a multiplayer game. Not just a multiplayer game, but a multiplayer game that focuses on customizing your equipment. So, this is falling into lots of traps right now. This is falling into the everyone wants to be Destiny. Everyone wants to have that sort of the multiplayer experience that Destiny has, this sort of MMO light thing. And I don't think Anthem is going to be quite an MMO light, but it's going to be something along those lines. And it's also going to be focused on you getting equipment and, the RPG stuff. The stuff that is pretty conducive to loot boxes. And this is EA we're talking about. EA makes the majority of makes a large amount of their profit from FIFA Ultimate and from stupid microtransaction stuff like what they did in Battlefront. That's why Battlefront was so terrible, because they were trying to replicate the FIFA Ultimate thing. That's why the visceral game, Star Wars game, was cancelled, because creative differences. EA wanted to make that sweet microtransaction dollar from Visceral and destroyed an Amy Hennig project in the process. Amy Hennig, the Uncharted writer, the one who gives you all the great characters and emotive narrative experience, single player person. And then EA was being like, shoehorn in that multiplayer, get us that sweet microtransaction dollar. So that's what Anthem is going to be. Anthem is going to be another example of that. It's persistent multiplayer. So say goodbye to immersive single-player experience, which is what BioWare does well. I will admit they have some MMO experience. Good for them, but that's it. With the death of Mass Effect Andromeda and everything being poured into Anthem, BioWare doesn't make single-player games anymore. And that's what BioWare did well. It's what they did well for years and years and years. Years. Great single-player RPGs. Now, multiplayer game, not their forte. But, you know, they could manage it. Multiplayer game focused on loot, published by EA. EA, who is famous for messing with their studios, making their studios make terrible, non-profitable games, and killing their studios. EA had something great with BioWare. They had something amazing. Mass Effect and Dragon Age are wonderful. They are some of the things that pushed video games beyond being like, the video game stings for kids, and into genuinely being a real art form. And you've thrown it away for the money. It was a perfect storm of all the right people just in the right place at the right time. They could have made some amazing things. But no. There is a slim chance that Anthem will be different to other EA experiences. Probably because EA will be trying to correct their mistakes from Star Wars Battlefront. But there's only so much course correction you can do once a game has been in development for this long. It's gonna have that foundation of a multiplayer loot box experience, because that's what it was started as. That's the project that EA wanted. So even if they do try to salvage it, and which they won't, by the way, because EA is stupid and they don't realize that their brand has already been destroyed. But I would like to believe that people will stop buying EA games and that EA will go out of business because of this, because their brand is that terrible. However, EA owns Star Wars, EA owns FIFA, EA owns a lot. EA will not let that go. So, if anyone wants to play FIFA, they're gonna have to go through EA. If anyone wants to play any games made by BioWare, some of the best narrative in games ever, they're gonna have to go through EA and buy the EA games. I'm just very frustrated because I'm sick and tired of EA. Electronic Arts, I would like to add. Not electronic business, give me your money. So, In summary, Anthem will be terrible. Its player base will drop incredibly quickly. And yet it will make EA a lot of money. And it will mean that EA puts BioWare on more and more projects just like it. Third-person action multiplayer games based around loot boxes. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I want the games that I loved. It's not that I don't want things to change. Change is fine. Free-to-play models are fine. Loot boxes are fine. But if you employ them in the exploitative way that EA does, you ruin companies that are better than you, EA. The world doesn't deserve to have BioWare taken away. BioWare is too good, and I'm upset. Okay, rant over. Those are some feelings about BioWare and EA. And feel free to watch my last stupid rant thing, which was about Zoella and the stupid capitalists exploiting people. Oh, it's the new branding of my channel, complaining about capitalists. Yeah, watch my other videos, go click subscribe and stuff. You don't want to be pausing around the ending, gotta keep it engaging, gotta engage them viewers. Yes. Oh, this is getting awkward again.